I honestly woke up this morning and I just thought, why not? Why not do this video? I didn't plan on doing it, I guess you could say, because I honestly thought first of all, I thought no one may be interested in watching this video, but I've seen a lot of videos like this and I think they're just fun to do and watch. I personally at least love to watch them from other reaction channels that I watch, not only BL channels, just in general, other channels that I've watched and that I truly love to see do these sort of videos. So I just thought, I'm gonna do it, which is ranking the BL series that I've seen so far. I wanted to do this with 2023 alone, but then I realized I watched maybe 5 shows last year because last year was a mess. And then I realized, okay, you know what? Maybe I should expand on this to general. I will say this, I will only be doing this towards the shows that I watched completely. And even then, I'm not sure if I have all of the shows right here. I think there are 29 at least right now here. But I will say this, there's a possibility that I didn't find some or I didn't see some because I did this very much early this morning. Okay, very early this morning. And so I was kind of asleep because I literally went to bed at 3 last night because I was filming, and I woke up at 8 and decided I'm gonna do that. So I am here with not much sleep, actually slept. So that is the thing that I feel is very important to have in mind. But yeah, there's 29 shows currently that I'm basically saying that I have watched so far. I did do this by basically just scrolling down YouTube and just going okay, I started this one here, let's search it. These are not in a particular order also, by the way. There's literally no order to this. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. There's S, A, B, C, and D. In this case, S being this is the best freaking show ever. A being this is extremely good and I would totally rewatch it or tell someone else to watch it. B is you're good. You're okay. I would totally I watched you and I don't regret it, so to say, but I also wouldn't rewatch you. Let's go with that. S is basically I don't know. I don't really even remember. Maybe it's a very not memorable show, I guess you could say, or just it's okay. It's not really a show I would, for example, if anyone asked me what shows have you watched that I should watch, it's probably not going to be a show that I'll be watch this one. For sure, 100%, maybe that. And D is I didn't really like you, which I'm not sure I'm gonna have any to put there. Maybe actually, we'll see. So I guess that's basically it. Let's go ahead and just check it out. Okay, so I am here to watch this because why the hell, to see this and to do this because again, why the hell not? Like I said, I believe there are 29. Honestly, like I said, it was this morning, so who the freak knows? But we're gonna start with SOTUS the series, which was, I believe, the first show I watched this year, or at least I think I started watching it maybe last year. I think I started it in 2022 and then did most of the show in 2023, or I just did the whole show in 2023. Who knows? But I will say this, it was a show that I got requested so much. So much. It was definitely one of those shows from the beginning when I started basically the channel. One of the first few shows that got recommended to me, you need to watch this, was SOTUS the series. I wouldn't say I regret watching the show in any way. I liked it quite a bit, but I would say that the show at some points, to me at least, got a bit I don't even know how to watch this. I didn't necessarily love it. I know a lot of people told me that the second season was better than the first. I only did the first season, if I'm not mistaken. I've never really touched the second season. I might, of course, if anyone is interested in seeing that. And if it is better than the first, I probably should. I would say the first season, although I liked a lot of the setting and I liked a lot of specific moments and I liked the characters themselves, I would say it's a show that I definitely found okay. I liked it, but I wouldn't necessarily say that it blew my mind. Let's say it like that, which I feel is a very typical thing, because when I watch newer shows and older shows, although I like a lot of the older shows, I feel like the topics that were talked about and like the things that they decided to use as plots and like, you know, where the show is in terms of setting, I feel like they're very repetitive later, like earlier on, basically. And I feel like now we're seeing shows that are like, oh, I did not expect that, because, you know, the genre is sort of evolving a lot more, which I'm very happy to see. Again, not to in any way like say that the older, like, you know, typical like campus stories are bad. I love them and I crave them, and I definitely feel the need to watch those shows as well nowadays. But I would say, you know, it just gets repetitive if you've seen a few of them. And by the time I got to SOTUS, of course, I had seen already a few. Again, I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it. I would say for now S tier. Again, it's okay, but like if someone told me which show should I watch, I mean, I could potentially say like, hey, for a typical like what BLs used to be and like where, you know, the foundation sort of it, I would say maybe SOTUS, but I wouldn't necessarily like, oh my god, you need to, you know, recommend it like that. These might get bumped up, by the way, also. Don't hate on me, first of all. Okay, that too, because this is just my personal opinion, of course, and anyone can have theirs, very much so. But yeah, I might change some of these, just, you know, so we're clear on that. After we have My School President. I do believe My School President was, I think so, the show that I watched like right after SOTUS, or like while I was still watching SOTUS. Again, I'm not going to try and like guess when I watched every show, because that's not going to happen. But I will say this, My School President, again, it's in a way sort of like a version, and more like typical like now version of, I guess, even the older type, because they are in school. It's kind of like the, you know, campus sort of thing, although I don't believe they were even in a college. They were like high school. They were so young. But I really liked it because it was so like young and just like young love, which in a way, like, at least I feel like a lot of queer people will like love more, even because it's kind of like, a lot of us at least, of course, I don't want to generalize, didn't get that experience, you know, that like really young, like love. To get that experience seen in a show was very like nostalgic to something that I never experienced, so to say. And I feel like I really enjoyed it in that sense. The music was great. The editing was great. I really enjoyed My School President, and I feel like I would definitely like recommend it to someone for sure. Yeah, you know what? For now, I really liked it. I really did. Like, it was extremely good. It really, really was one of those shows that I watched this year, last year, I mean, that I really like remember as, oh my god, I loved that period of time in my life. I remember editing those thumbnails. I remember editing those videos. And I feel like that just alone shows that it was a great experience. And so I really can't put it below an A, I think. At least for now, that's not a possibility for me. The Eclipse. I watched The Eclipse so recently that in a way it's kind of like, I mean, I loved The Eclipse. I really did. I liked the things that they touched on. I liked the topics that they had. I really the acting. I'm not even going to comment on the acting. As I said, the main leads in the Eclipse were on multiple shows throughout this year, and they killed every single one of them. The acting was so good. They had me truly like, I mean, I have no words. The plot twist on that also, like, it was one of the first times where I had to get up and like take a walk, because I was like, what the hell just happened? So I feel like, you know, it is really good, although it has some moments where I was kind of like, is this moving on or not? You know, like I felt like for a while we weren't getting anywhere in the beginning. So it was a slow burn, I guess you could say. But like when we got to it, I was like, oh, okay, you have me 100%. So I would put it above My School President. I would. Because honestly, I really, really did enjoy it. Like the plot twist alone is enough for me to go like, what the, you know? So I would definitely say like that one, yeah, it's above My School President for sure. It has to be. The Eclipse was really, really good. And I would definitely recommend it as well. In terms of cinematography, in terms of the plot, in terms of the script, in terms of the acting, yes, 100%. So The Eclipse will go A2, like rank a top of A for now. Your name engraved herein. This is not a show, it's a movie, but I did watch it this year and I just felt like I had to include it. I was a mess after this movie for a while. I feel like in my reaction itself, which I don't even know if the reaction is available now because I think it got copyrighted. So I'm not even sure if people can watch the video anymore. If they can, I will hopefully put something on the screen, but I'm not sure anymore, to be honest. But I will say this. It is definitely a movie that I would say it's worth a watch. It had me crying. It had me really afterwards, in particular, like thinking, which I feel like if a movie or a show has you like really sitting back and just going, what did I just watch and what am I feeling about it? Because like in a way, my body cannot like really generate what's happening. I feel like that's just a sign of a good freaking show and a good freaking movie. So I would definitely put it at S. If I were to ever do like a viewing of something with like friends of mine and I wanted to sort of either straight friends that I want to introduce to some like queer movies or just queer people, when I want to go like, I'm gonna destroy your ass right now, and not in that sense. I would definitely show them this. Like, we're gonna cry. Let's cry. Let's cry. You know you want to, and I would definitely show them your name engraved herein. That at the end, like, God, they had me crying. They had me crying so hard at the end. I can't. So I feel like I can't put it below S because I really did enjoy how it made me feel. It might not be the like craziest thing ever, like I know a lot of people probably would even feel bored maybe watching it, but the sentiment that it gave me was enough for me to put it at S. I guess S for sentiment. So yeah, I guess that is where your name engraved herein would lie. Next, Moonlight Chicken, which I will say this about Moonlight Chicken. I enjoyed the storylines. I ended up with Moonlight Chicken getting a lot of like secondary couple syndrome. I really enjoyed the like Gemini fourth like storyline, which is not the names that they have in the show, of course, but I don't remember Heart and I remember, I think one of them was called Heart. Again, with names, I'm horrible, but like I really enjoyed the storyline of them. Like their storyline was, in my personal opinion, the best storyline, and they're not the mains, I guess you could say. And so, in a way, I always feel like, am I enjoying this if I focus more on the secondary couple than I do on the main couple? Again, I really, really, really love Earthmix, but I would definitely say that in this show in particular, I personally really enjoyed it overall. Like, yes, I mean, it was amazing, but I would definitely say that like I enjoyed the secondary couple more. In terms of the ranking, I would say, although I loved it, really did, I don't think it's on the same level to me as these two. So I would definitely have to put it in B. And I don't think I'm being bad by doing that. Okay, I'm sorry. But again, it's a really good show. I would recommend it, but like it's just not on an A level or a C level for sure. For me personally, my personal opinion. And yeah, we're going to go straight into OnlyFriends, which I just finished not that long ago. Again, I feel like OnlyFriends is one of those shows where people are gonna like, I feel like a lot of people were like, they either loved the show or they could not finish the show, which I get because I feel like BLs have given us, this specific thing that we can look for in shows and wait for sure in shows. And I feel like OnlyFriends kind of was just throw shit against the wall and see if it sticks. Like truly, that was the sentiment that I got from the show. They were like, we're going to go crazy. We're going to do some shit that maybe some people are going to be like, what the hell is happening here? As a queer person myself, I felt that it was very realistic. I personally looked at it and I was like, yeah, that is us. Yes. Not all of us, not generalizing, of course, but definitely like a lot of the sentiment that we saw very openly in OnlyFans, I feel like is a big sentiment that a lot of us have. We just don't show it. We don't show it because it's not necessarily acceptable. None of the characters were good characters. All of the characters had extreme flaws and they were very much out in the open. But I feel like that is exactly what made the show so captivating for me personally, because I felt like, oh, I do see myself in this, just not the myself that I like to present to people, but there's definitely something there. The aspect of just raw sexuality that it sort of had, I personally really enjoyed. I know not a lot of people will, but I enjoyed it. Again, said that I wouldn't say that it's A, and I wouldn't say that it's S. I also wouldn't say I liked it more than Moonlight Chicken, so it will go where it is right now, which I feel like is not necessarily that bad. Okay. Now, the next ones. I actually don't think that this order makes much sense because, of course, I'm going to be talking about the first season first. I don't know why the order there got like that, but yeah. Together. Together is one of those shows, but I'm going to be very out in the open and say, and I've said this before, I didn't necessarily love the show. I understand why a lot of people did. I understand why it was one of the biggest shows ever. I understand why. First of all, it came out, I feel like I remember seeing that it came out right when COVID happened. So it was very much everyone was at home, which I immediately was okay, I get it. If I were at home in the beginning of quarantine and I watched this, I would definitely enjoy it as well. But I will say this. I don't love their chemistry. I really don't. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people love the ship. I know a lot of people live for them. I personally didn't feel as much of a connection and as much chemistry between these two main actors. I don't know what it was. Of course, it might not have been a choice that they made. I don't know. Just generally speaking, I personally didn't love their chemistry, especially in the first season. I feel like it did get better in the second one, but not as much, not enough for me to basically be oh, I love this. First season, sorry, but I would definitely have to put it at D. I don't think I could put it anywhere else because, again, I really just did not love the first season. It's not that I wouldn't rewatch it. It's not like I hated watching it. It's not like it was painful. I did like some moments. I laughed, of course. I enjoyed it. If you go watch my reaction, it's not like I was hating my life. It's not like I was acting that I liked it. I did like it at the time. It's just that at the end of watching it, I did also kind of go and just look around and was in comparison to other BLs I've seen, this just didn't feel the same, it's not that I hated it. It's just that in comparison to others, personally for my liking, I was okay. It was very that. And the second season, to be honest, does feel the same, just a bit better in terms of the chemistry. I feel like they definitely felt much more oh, okay, I see something. But I would definitely, again, not say that these were two shows that I would rewatch or honestly tell someone to watch because I feel like they would kind of go I don't feel that between them. And I would be yeah, I know. So I don't think I would tell anyone to watch that show. That's just my personal liking, of course. Again, you might watch these shows and feel like they're the best ever. This is also something I will say. If any of these shows you have not watched, do not let my personal opinion of them dictate how you should watch them or not. I feel like all of these shows deserve to be watched. All queer media deserves to be watched more because that's what will make companies also feel and see that they, should put demand on them. So in no way is this me trying to shit on any freaking show, any show. They did a good job. I enjoyed, but my reactions, if you go watch them, you will see. It's just in comparison, I cannot compare. I guess that's basically really it. Not Me. Not Me was a really, I don't feel like I need to really explain this. I really don't. I loved what they talked about. I loved the way they did it. In my personal opinion, some of the greatest acting I saw in BL so far, to be very freaking honest. It was really well done. All of the characters just felt there and they felt so great to watch. I loved it. I really did. I'm sorry, but that's just, at the end of the day, that really is it. I really enjoyed watching Not Me. And I feel like it was very, very, very well made. So story-wise, character-wise, all of wise, so to say, I would definitely recommend Not Me. If it would be probably one of the first shows that I would be watch that one. For sure. 100%. So not much to say about Not Me besides that it's a masterpiece. Okay. Bad Buddy. Bad Buddy, I really liked Bad Buddy. Although, in comparison, again, I would say it was not a show that had like the deepest plot. It was very much one of those shows that, like, it was extremely funny. It was very well made. The chemistry was amazing. Again, it didn't have something that I would go like, oh my God, the theme is so powerful. You know, it wasn't that. That was not it. But we don't always need that. And again, while watching Not Me, I sort of craved a show exactly like Bad Buddy. I needed something that was funny. I needed something that was lighthearted. Like, not Bad Buddy really was a good show. And the plot twist at the end with the parents and finding out why there was this rivalry really was quite cute to see and really good. I really did like it at the end of the day. I would definitely say that Bad Buddy, I would put it no. Wait a minute. Okay. I would put it above My School President because personally I liked it a bit more. But I would definitely not say that it's like, I personally gravitate towards my deep and more profound shows. Although again, I crave shows like these ones too. If I could, in a perfect world, I would watch both shows at the same time, basically, like something profound and deep with something at the same time that is funny and cute. So, yeah, I guess that's where my Bad Buddy would lie with me. This is Kissable Lips. I couldn't really find a better picture, sorry, but Kissable Lips was one of the first few Korean shows I feel like I watched of Korean BLs. I feel like Kissable Lips was one of those shows that I looked at and I was like, okay, I like it. Of course, at Korean BLs earlier on, particularly like these, the budget was very clearly hopes and dreams. And it's very obvious in this show, I feel like, that the budget was not necessarily the highest, but I feel like they did a very good job with what they had. And I will say this, at the end, the ending had me. If the whole show doesn't really do much for you, still the end will tug at your heartstrings. I'm not gonna say too much, but like that ending, goddamn. So I would definitely say that I liked it. I mean, I put it there. I really did like it. If I were to go for something more like it's quick and easy and like definitely you should watch it, I would definitely go Kissable Lips for sure. It was very good. It just, of course, unfortunately, like the world just didn't give it the budget that I feel like it deserved. If it had more budget, I feel like it would have been great and they could have definitely expanded much more on the show. But that's also, I feel like, a very typical thing for, unfortunately, Korean BLs. So, yeah. We Best Love won. I feel like that's, I hope I'm not saying the name wrong. I feel like that's the name. I watched it. It wasn't a long time ago, but I really don't remember a lot of it. I liked it. I know that for sure, but I don't remember much of the show itself, to be very honest. In a way, I feel like it probably was really good because I know that I was definitely like, oh, I need to watch the rest of it, and I probably will. But like in comparison to other shows that I did see, I can't recall too much of like what the plot was, which to me kind of goes like, was the plot not that good because I don't remember it? I don't know. Honestly, that's the biggest thing is I didn't want to go into this reminding myself because I didn't want to get that. Like I wanted to be able to go like, what do I remember of this? Was it memorable for me personally? Because again, this is not saying the show is bad. This is saying how I felt about the show. I don't remember much about the show, so I would have to put it at C for now. Because again, I don't personally like really recall what happens. I know I liked it. I know the end to me was like crazy, I remember, because I feel like it ends very open-ended, I think, which of course, given that they had a second season makes sense, but it's just not as memorable, I guess, again, I could say for me. So yeah. Manner of Death. Manner of Death is one of those shows I feel like I started it going like, ooh, I like this. And then by the middle of it, I went, I don't know how to feel. Like I felt a bit bored at times watching Manner of Death, which is kind of weird because I feel like that show was not boring at all. But somehow for me, it ended up being kind of boring at some parts. And I felt like in some reactions, I look back and I go like, you can kind of tell that I'm like not there in a way, you know, like it's very weird, but I feel like that definitely was a thing. I also feel like that was definitely because of my mindset at the time. I really was not in the best mindset when I was watching Manner of Death. So I feel like that definitely affected it. I didn't hate Manner of Death for sure. Like I really liked it. But again, it's not one of those shows that I would be like, oh my God, yes, like immediately tell someone to go watch it. It's just one of those shows that I might even rewatch myself to see if I like it maybe like in a year or something, because I feel like that would probably change my opinion on it. At this current moment, I would say before or after Pseudos. After. Before We Best Love, because I remember more of it. But like, for example, I'm not recalling what the end was, to be honest. For example, I don't remember what the end of Manner of Death was. I know I finished it, but I don't remember the end. So yeah, sorry. I feel like people are gonna hate me for that, but yeah, sorry. Really, don't hate me, okay? Like again, this is just my personal opinion, very much so. So yeah, God. We have Heartstopper, which I feel like is the only like Heartstopper is like I feel like the only show from Netflix as well here, right? Yeah. So I liked Heartstopper. I feel like Heartstopper gets a lot of bad rap for like just being, it's a cute show. Like I don't get the hype. I enjoy that. I enjoy the fact that it gave a lightheartedness to the for the global, so to say, international like audience, which I feel like was very used to either gay shows being super dramatic, super sad. This ended up being like a breath of fresh air for a lot of gay people, like outside that like don't know about BLs, for example. Like I used to not know. I feel like in comparison, of course, to BLs I've seen now, Heartstopper feels very simple, but I understand where the fascination towards Heartstopper came from, because it definitely became a comfort show. I only have watched season 1. I will watch season 2 with you guys, and season 3. I feel like they finished already production on that. I just haven't had the time to watch it, but I have not watched it. And I have also not gotten spoilers for it, which I find weird, but I'm very glad, I guess. But yeah, I would say definitely that I would put it there. It's not above My School President, Bad Buddy, or The Eclipse, but I really did enjoy it. Okay, Cutie Pie series. I really enjoyed Cutie Pie series. I found it to be, again, one of those shows that like was just very lighthearted. It didn't have necessarily the biggest like deep meaning, but I really liked it. And I feel like I really enjoyed the way they brought light specifically towards the end to the whole situation of same-sex marriage in Thailand, given that a lot of BLs are really one of the main markets. I feel like it's something that at least internationally, like a lot of international like people know Thailand for the BLs, and like BLs are definitely like a market there. And somehow there still was no like, thank God I've heard that like it's definitely like gotten better now. But it was like, I was really like shocked when I at first like got to know that like in a country that had so much like, market for BLs, there was still no possibility to get married if you were actually to get married with someone of the same sex. I was like, what the hell are we doing? So I'm very glad that they shed like light on that, I guess you could say. So I would say I put it there. Above Heartstopper, but definitely not like above any of the other shows. I feel like that's very much okay. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and go into Blueming, which was another Korean BL that I watched. And I will say this, Blueming was surprising, because I didn't personally feel like I would like Blueming as much, but then I really ended up loving Blueming. I loved the topics that they touched on. I loved the scene with the mother. I loved just the emotional explosion that the last few episodes had. And I really liked the like chemistry that they had as well. I feel like that was some of the best chemistry I've seen in Korean BL so far. I really enjoyed Blueming. Like I really, really enjoyed Blueming. Much more than I thought I would. So I would definitely put Blueming like there. Yes. I would definitely put it there. Like I feel like it's a very solid B. Like above Only Friends and Kissable Lips, for sure. Like I would rewatch Blueming over Only Friends, which might be weird, but I would definitely do that. The next one is Semantic Error, which honestly, Semantic Error, although it is not like necessarily a crazy show that I would say has like super deep meaning, I personally feel like it was a Korean BL that did the genre so well. Like they really did the genre the best so far in terms of Korean BLs. I feel like that's the blueprint so far. It's the one that really exploded the BL genre in Korea. It ended up really doing so much better than I feel like anyone expected, including like the production and the actors themselves, which I'm very happy for. And honestly, I feel like it really definitely like cemented the reality of let's give bigger budget to Korean BLs. So I was very happy to see that. So I would definitely say that Semantic Error deserves to be like very solid on A. Like I would rewatch it still to this day, very much so. So I definitely have to say that it goes there. Tarn Type. Tarn Type was the first BL I've ever seen. I've said this before. Although it is the first BL, it will always hold a special place in my heart. I don't think that Tarn Type aged very well in terms of like BLs. It's not I regret watching it. I definitely do not. Again, it's always gonna have that place in my heart. It was the start of this. I loved it. I really did. But there was definitely some scenes and some moments that I feel like were extremely questionable. And by extremely, I mean extremely questionable. I really enjoyed the acting. I really enjoyed the storyline. They had some great storylines that I feel like were the great part of the show and then were not really talked enough about, I guess you could say. Like the backstory of like Tarn or Type, which one of them? I don't remember again, like the names I'm horrible with, but Golf's character, like the past that he has, where his hatred and internal homophobia comes from, I feel like that was so well, like there was so much there that could have potentially been so much worked better, but given the time, I feel like they kind of didn't talk about it as well. And I just didn't like some moments. Some of the moments I still to this day remember seeing the lines and even some stuff that happened and I go, oh, that makes me feel uneasy. I don't like that. But again, it was really good. It's just that I would love for it to be able to go back in time and tweak some things. Personally, even I feel like if it were made today, it would have been much better. Given the time, it was really good. But I can't really give it more than that. Maybe it's a B minus C plus, I guess you could say. That's the best thing I can say, really. And honestly, I would say the same applies to the next one, which is Love by Chance. A lot of people were like, don't even watch the second season because God. The end of the first season and some of the moments that happened, particularly in the end, really like, I was like, why? Why? I liked it, but there were some moments, like especially the non-consensual scenes, especially that I feel like is one thing that in a lot of these older shows, I just go, what the hell was going on? Like, why were we doing this stuff? Like, I had to put trigger warnings in Tarn Type because of stuff like that, which I feel like that was definitely some of the stuff that kind of made me go, I feel like I liked Love by Chance a bit more than Tarn Type. Although they truly are like close to the same. I would say that they're very difficult for me to like, separate. I feel like those two shows actually go very much hand in hand for me in terms of how I felt about them. But yeah, that's where I would let them go. I mean, until we meet again. Yes, I would actually do this again. Until We Meet Again is definitely like my favorite show. Still my number one so far. I remember from first episode to last episode, every episode was like, what the hell is happening? Oh my God. The acting, the drama, the plot. Whoever wrote this show deserves all the awards. Every year they should win an award just because they made that show. Like truly, that's how I feel about it. There's no like speaking on that. That's just truly like yes, okay. I'm sorry, but yes, that's all I have to say. Together With Me is one of those shows that I would definitely have to say I would put it like a low B, maybe. It's almost a C, to be honest, because I don't remember a lot of what happens in Together With Me. I liked it. For the time, I feel like probably it was a very great show. It definitely had some things that I kind of just went, oh God, I never really like the shows that throw in a girl in the middle of it or close to the end just to create some drama, because I always felt like, first of all, it just collectively made like an hatred for the actress, which I never really liked. And then also just I feel it a lot of times didn't make sense. I felt like they just did it because they wanted to include some drama, but I was like, why? There's no need for this. And I feel like nowadays you don't see that as much. which I kind of enjoy. Again, it's a low B. It's a low B. It's really good still. Like, I really did like it. It's just actually, yeah, I don't remember much about it, so I'd have to put it there because I like remember more of Love by Chance and Type than I do remember from Together with Me. So I would definitely have to put it at C. Sorry. Yeah. Oh God. Gameboys. Gameboys honestly was really cute, and given like when it happened and when I was watching it, I really personally like loved that show. It was a time. Okay, it was during COVID. It was definitely like a time in like space continuum. I feel like that's one of the most rewatchable shows that I've seen. I would definitely like rewatch it for sure. I really enjoyed it. What they did with what they had was so good. I feel like it was definitely something that like I really enjoyed it. It's definitely not an A because I feel like, you know, it's just, there was still something, but a very high B for sure, a solid B. Then we have, I really never know how to pronounce it, Gaya Pelikula. I think that's how you say it. But honestly, I really enjoyed the plot. But again, it's one of those shows that it was very simple to the point where I personally even like have some things that I don't necessarily remember for it. I would definitely say that it's a very high C because like I like it. It doesn't have anything wrong with it like some of the other movies, shows, I guess you could say that RNC has. For example, right now I would also say that I would definitely put like A Manner of Death a bit above because again, it's Manner of Death is there because I don't really recall a lot from it. And I would say C, the Gaya Película is definitely like that too. I just don't remember a lot of what happened. I liked it, but I don't recall a lot of it, which to me immediately means I liked it, but it's just not memorable to me. I guess that's basically it, yeah. Lovely Writer. Lovely Writer, weirdly, I'm sorry, but Lovely Writer is going to be a very high B because I really enjoyed the experience of watching that show. I feel like Lovely Writer did a great thing, which is it felt like a Korean BL, a Korean drama, not BL, a Korean drama, Korean show, a K-drama in BL form. I feel like they did a great job in making it super light, super fun, super cute, but still having like this moments. I really enjoyed watching Lovely Writer. Like it was one of those shows that I just remember watching and being like, oh, I love this. I really do. Like I don't know why, but I love this show. And of course, it was my beginning of my obsession. So I have to. Why Are You? Why Are You definitely sort of has moments, I would say, of like where I went, okay. I feel like I was sad that this show definitely did not get the ending that it deserved. I feel like a lot of people told me that because of COVID, they couldn't really film what they wanted to film. And I feel like if they had probably gotten the chance to do what they really wanted to do, it would have been much better. So I'm kind of upset at that because I'm like, it's not really their fault. I really wish that like they had that opportunity. But unfortunately, they didn't. I would definitely say that Why Are You is high. I liked it. I really liked the story. I liked the acting. I like the acting. God, I said that weirdly. But again, I would say it's a solid B, but more than a B, I definitely say no. Again, B is really good in my eyes. Like, it's just that I personally wouldn't necessarily go, oh my God, yes, like, this changed my life. I would recommend it. I would definitely tell someone to watch it. But it didn't necessarily feel that grand in my heart and eyes. I guess that's basically it. I Told Sunset About You is my number one show. I've said this before. I'll continue to say it. Those two are the tops. No one has been able to top them, okay? They are there. There's no verse energy there. They're just tops full on. Like, there's really I will say this. It's not like I don't think it's going to happen, but like they're definitely at this point, at least they're like my tops and no one has gotten to them yet. So cinematography, acting, plot, everything, like those two shows, chef's kiss. No other words. Light on Me is close to, I would say even above Semantic Error for me. It's one of those shows I feel like it didn't get as much rap, like as much like talk as Semantic Error, but in terms of like the actual show, I feel like Light on Me was much better than Semantic Error. That's just me, my opinion. I personally really liked it much more. And if anyone has seen Semantic Error and loved it, but has not seen Light on Me, I would say watch Light on Me. Because like it's really, really good. Really good. 1,000 stars. I will say this. 1,000 stars. I put it here. I feel like just in terms of the story that it had, in terms of the scenery and the places that the setting that they decided to film this on, the acting, there's no words. It was so good. I remember it's like a period of time I remember so correctly. I remember it had that like, it really just hit the heartstrings, okay? It deserves to be on my top 3 for sure. 100%. There's no words for it. Like I really, really did enjoy it. And that would be one of the shows again that I would be like, yes, like this top 3 would definitely be like the shows that I'd be like, watch right away. Like for sure. Watch it. It's gonna be good. You're gonna like it. Watch it. For anyone, to be honest. So they deserve to be my top 3 for now. And I know people are gonna be like, you are a bitch, because you just said that you are only gonna include shows that you've watched completely. I have not finished Last Twilight. I feel like there's 2 episodes left because I think there's going to be 12, but who knows? I should not be putting Last Twilight in here. I know, it is true. You are correct, but I am so close to the end and I really want to include it in this because of just how much I am enjoying it, because I don't think at this point they could do something that would dethrone it from where I'm going to put it. Like they would have to really fuck up the ending. It might happen. If it happens, I will let you know in my reactions. But like, given that there's maybe most possibly 2 episodes left, I feel like it's very difficult for them to do this. And this is going to be crazy. But I would say that Last Twilight deserves S. Because so far, if anyone at this current moment were to tell me which BL should I watch, I would probably say Last Twilight immediately, even before any other else. Like, Last Twilight would definitely be like the show that in this current moment, I would be like, yes, that one, Last Twilight, for sure. Go watch it immediately and tell me what you think. It's just that good. The acting is that good. It's I don't know what to tell you guys. It's really just, it's amazing. Amazing. Okay. And I guess that's basically it for now. I would love for you guys to let me know, of course, what you thought of the ones that I chose. Of course, give me your opinion. Keep it respectful, though. Like I said, this is my personal view on it. It's no shitting towards any show. It's just my personal view on it, on things, and I think that that's acceptable. And yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you would have done. And I guess that's basically it for this video, and I'd love to see you guys in the next one. Bye.